I think since I met you, I started doing reset programs, and I do them, I think, twice a year. I'll text you like, I'm not feeling great. It's a reset program.
Yes.
It makes a crazy difference just in the first week.
Yeah.
You see a difference in your mood, in your skin, in the way that you yourself feel. How have you seen this path into health and wellness becoming one of the key luxury pillars in what you've experienced?
The truth is, it is the one thing you can't buy. So that is the ultimate luxury. I always tell my members and my followers, I give you the tools, but at the end of the day, I can't do it for you. So the platform is very educational. It's first and foremost an educational platform with masterclasses, research, and all of it. But I can't watch those masterclasses for them. They have to do it.
Welcome to Beyond Luxury, where we explore emerging trends and take them one step further. Join us as we redefine the meaning of luxury in today's ever-evolving world. Building on the themes of my book, Beyond Luxury, The Promise of Emotion, we invite thought leaders from fashion, beauty, wellness, travel, hospitality, culture, and tech to share their insights and story. Welcome to part 2. If you haven't caught up with part 1 yet, I highly recommend starting there. It sets the stage for everything we're about to explore. Let's get right back into it. I would love to go back a little bit and for you to tell us your journey into starting Eat, Burn, Sleep, because I know it wasn't an easy one. You were from another industry. You had just healed yourself, but there was a little push and a moment of bravery that you had to go through and just take it on and start creating content and start from zero and building this massive platform that now you have.
Yeah, it was, I never imagined this would happen. I just wanted to heal myself and be able to enjoy my kids again. Truly, that's what I wanted to do, and be able to walk again and hike and exercise without pain. And I also did not see the value in me because I was so deep into this research that I almost felt that other people knew what I knew. You know, when you've been in a bubble for so long, you think
everyone knows.
You think everyone knows. And I met Denzel, whom you know as well. And I would not share my story with people. Even my friends didn't know how bad it was, because I didn't want people to feel sorry for me. I don't like pity. I don't want it to. What I noticed when I was ill is there are some people who are sick who love the attention. I have to say this. And I had to move away from them because I was on a path of, I'm going to get better. This is not a world I want to stay in. The hospital is not my home. I don't want to stay, because I kept going. It felt like my new job. I was at the hospital so much. So during, I didn't like to talk about it. I didn't want people to feel sorry. And then after, for me, I was over it. Well, that's it. I fixed the problem. Let's just look forward. Next. Now I can have my champagne. Next. But one day I was at this dinner party, and Denzel, who kindly allows us to record here, was sat next to me. And I don't know why, he had like this gentle soul, and I told him my story of almost dying twice, of fixing myself, of being medication free, of now enjoying my children. And he said to me, you have to share with people. I said to him, how? He said, social media. And I said, me, a food blogger? Never. I didn't want to be on social media. Because coming from finance, it's not really what you want to do. And also at that time, I had started a small finance company with an ex-colleague of mine, so I was involved. And at the same time, my dear friend Vanessa Branson asked me to chair the Art Biennale in Marrakesh, because I'm half Moroccan, my family is into art, I collect. And so I was offered this prestigious role. I was doing this job that I could do, but my heart was not in it as much as health. So I took myself away and I did some thinking. I did some hiking in Austria on my own, and I was just thinking, what do I want to do with my life? And one of the reasons why I was doing the finance venture was to then do charity work in Morocco for girls in education. And I had started looking into that, but it was actually more complex than I had imagined. So as I'm hiking and thinking, I'm in nature, I'm reconnecting with myself, and I thought, if I can help one person not go through what I've been through and their children not see them go through what mine have seen me go through, then this is worth it. So I came back to London. I thanked Vanessa, but I turned down that role. I went to Olivier, my business partner, and I said, listen, you keep the shares of the company, but we're going to unwind, like I'm out. And I'm going to share on social media for free for 9 months. And after that, I need to have some form of product to see if there is a bite and if there are results. Because my background being finance, I gave myself some really precise metrics to be able to measure my success, because otherwise it was just a vanity project where I think I'm helping and I'm being fabulous. But actually, if it doesn't make money, if I'm not selling, if I'm not getting testimonials, if people are not committing, if I don't have thousands of members, how can I measure my success?
Right.
So I was quite tough with myself. I was like, I'm not going to finance this. It's got to work. Otherwise, I'm not helping anyone. And maybe this method just helped me.
Yeah.
And also, me being me, I wanted to have the credentials. So what happened is, simultaneously, I went back to school and did biomedicine and naturopathic nutrition at the College of Naturopathic Medicine in London. I built a business, and then lockdown happened and I had the kids at home. My head was exploding. During lockdown, I felt like a little hamster on a wheel.
Mm-hmm.
Wake up every morning, take care of the kids, cook all of that, create recipes, film a workout, do some research, hand my essays for school. I was doing it all at the same time. Waking up at 5 a.m. I mean, for the first year of building the platform, I didn't take a single day off. And now I can remember the last time I took a day off. But if you asked me even 6 months ago, it was hard for me to tell you. Because that's what it takes to build a business.
Mm-hmm.
It is a lot of work. The learning curve is so steep, from IT to accountancy to HR to filling your taxes. There is a lot to take. Legal, disclaimers, and also I coach a few number of very complex cases. I love doing that. So I get complex.
You take how many a year?
3 max at the same time. People with complex issues. And I go deep into research because research work is my favorite part of the job. And then what I'm able to do is, from this very exclusive service that I offer, I extract the research and I put it on the platform so it's more inclusive.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
And you're basically taking the same approach that you did with yourself.
With my private clients, yes. So what I do is I give them what I dreamt of having, which is someone who just takes care of it all. They outsource the worry to me. They outsource everything. So what I do is I start with a long 90-minute consultation, sometimes 2 hours, going all the way back to their birth, looking into their genetics, looking into their emotional trauma, because all of this plays into the expression of disease. I then go and prepare a personalized plan based on their own circumstances. And every week we have a 1-hour Zoom where we do the plan and then we modify it. But in between, we talk on WhatsApp, on text. I need feedback because that's data for me that allows me to do more research and tweak things.
Right.
See how the body is reacting. So we go slowly. I also review all the medical results. It's happened in the past that I picked up on things that had not been diagnosed. So because I have so much experience with this, and from being a patient as well, I ask people to go and see their doctor if I see a red flag. And it is their responsibility to then ensure that the tests are done. And I also have my little black book of practitioners and doctors, and I share all of that with them. I have an example. I had this young lady who came to me. She wanted to lose about 7 kilos. She didn't have her period anymore for a while, no periods. She had digestive issues and was eating, I think, 800 calories a day. And the doctor said to her, if you lose more weight, if you lose any weight, your period is not coming back. But her BMI was not massively overweight, but a little bit, you know, there was room to lose those kilos, definitely. And I got her period back, her anxiety. Oh yeah, she had extremely high anxiety. We fixed the anxiety. She lost the weight. We got the period back, regular cycles. I was very happy. But there was something off with the digestive system. So I raised that flag to her, and this is someone who paid for so much in terms of testing. So she almost got angry with me. She goes, I did the colonoscopy, I did the endoscopy, they said everything's normal. I said to her, listen, next time you come to London, please go and see this doctor and ask him this, that. So what I did is, I didn't request a test. I asked her to explain the symptoms I was seeing, the way what I was seeing. I said, say that we have seen this and this and this and that. He referred her to a gastro at St. Mary's, and they looked. She had gastritis and it hadn't been diagnosed. So this is an example. So what I like to do with my clients is to really support them through their journey, and there is no limit to the amount of research. For example, I have another lady who came to me with a very aggressive breast tumor. She was already a member of the Burn Sleep platform, but she went through events in her life. She was like not fully committed to the lifestyle, and then she had some very stressful events. And at some point she found a lump, and it was a 3 centimeter, triple negative, super aggressive tumor. She had a long course of chemotherapy, surgery, and immunotherapy, very heavy chemo. We started working together. I put her on the cancer recovery, prevention and recovery, which I have on the platform, but I tailored it to her type of cancer. I started researching breast cancer, which kind of fish oil. It was DHA that had been proven in some studies to really help. I would go and source the brand near her in California that was clean, where it was the highest amount of DHA. So that's how I take it like super far. And she started having incredible results. First, she didn't get that many side effects of chemo. She didn't vomit. She wasn't sick. She was feeling good. Second thing, she was pink. Like, she didn't have the chemo look. She had this glow about her. And more importantly, the tumor started shrinking rapidly. And she got excited. She came and asked me for medical advice. She said, Yalda, the tumor has shrunk by this much. Do you think I can ask my doctor to reduce the number of chemo sessions? And I said to her, absolutely not. I do my job. I'm supporting you through this. We're not going to do a Steve Jobs. We're not going to aim for perfection. We want you to live. We want you to get the all clear, and we want this thing to never come back. So you follow the advice of your doctors, and we do the nutrition and lifestyle to alleviate the side effects of the medication, to detoxify your liver from all the toxins, and to give you the best support to recover and survive and be there for your children. So I try to be the voice of reason as much as I can, and not let people get into this perfectionist mindset, which can be very dangerous. Very dangerous. And recently, she traveled to London. We went for lunch together. Her hair is beautiful. She has this her hair grew back so thick. She's gorgeous. She's glowing. It gives me goosebumps.
Yeah, me too. That's amazing. That's the kind of impact that you have, that your platform has, that your method has, and that your energy that you put out and you invest in this have, which is incredible, because that's exactly what Denzel had sparked in you, and that was the catalyst for you to become one of the biggest connoisseurs in this space of chronic inflammation, and also working with doctors, which I think is such a humble way to do it. A lot, as you say, so many people are out there saying to do XYZ if they want to. And it's just so incredible to hear how you take care of your clients and how you hyper-personalize it to them as a companion and as a guide in their lifestyle while they're going through these very sometimes traumatic medical experiences as well.
Yeah, and also you have to be professional. I am not qualified to give medical advice with medical treatments. It would be highly unprofessional of me to say, oh yeah, maybe ask him. No. Sometimes I had clients come to me. I had this lovely lady who had MS and depression. And the doctors, when we started the coaching together, this is a woman in her early 30s. So she had MS lesions and she was prescribed antidepressants. And she asked me, can I postpone the antidepressants? It would be crazy of me to say yes, because we know where depression can lead people. So I said, you go and have a conversation with your doctor. I can't advise you. You have a conversation. Do we have 4 weeks before you start them? Do we have 2 weeks? How long do we have? And the doctor said, yeah, no problem. It's not acute. You can definitely start in a month. And then a month later, she had totally forgotten about this prescription. She was feeling amazing. The pain from the MS, the tingling, the numbness, all of that had gone already. Her mood was up. She was happy. Wow. And I said to her, I took a little break and I said, Shamsa, and I can disclose her name because she wrote a lovely testimonial for me. I said, Shamsa, do you remember it was only a month ago that you were on the brink of taking antidepressants? She goes, I can't believe it. I feel so different. So The body is wired for healing. When we give like the right tools and the right support for the body, it turns around pretty quickly.
Fascinating. Stop everything you're doing. If you love our podcast and are passionate about the future of luxury, don't forget to hit follow. The more followers we have, the bigger guests we can bring on. Without you, we couldn't do what we do. So thank you. I want to go into now kind of a, I think, polarizing topic and hot topic right now, which is Ozempic and all of the Ozempic like injections, and also a little bit on what's going on around right now with this ethos of being healthy, being very in tune with your mental wellness, wanting to go to these wellness places to heal yourself. And at the same time, this in parallel, there's this trend of let's have the quick fix back, actually, right? Like, let's do the long fix, but quick fix. And long fix, it's a little bit confusing. And there's two kind of rhetorics going around. What do you see and think of all of this?
Well, it depends who we're talking about. So first, Ozempic is for diabetics. Diabetes, type 1 and type 2, is very manageable with lifestyle. We've had amazing results on the platform. But I can see how you can look at an individual who needs to lose 40, 50, 60, 70 pounds and look at the prognosis of health issues that they have, because generally they will have one or more diagnoses, and the benefit of losing a lot of weight pretty quickly, let's say in 6 months, 1 year, dramatic amount of weight, and the improvement in the prognosis for that individual. I understand that. Now, I don't believe that the best way for health is to take medication for the rest of your life. This can't be sold to me that if you only have 10 or 20 pounds to lose, or even maybe 30 pounds to lose, that the best route for you is to inject for the rest of your life. It's just common sense. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to work that out, that the side effects of the medication will probably impact you badly. when it comes to Ozempic, I have friends who work in the fashion industry and have seen a lot of people trying to thin down by taking Ozempic and ending up with serious gallbladder issues, thyroid issues, pancreas issues. I think it's nuts. If you're not seriously morbidly obese and that you haven't tried everything, to go and inject every day for the rest of your life. Something that makes you lose more muscle than fat. So as time goes by, your metabolism goes down. And also, when people stop the medication, because a lot of people end up stopping because of the digestive upset, because of all. So the chances of stopping the meds are very high. And when people stop, many of them, particularly those who didn't have a lot to lose, who are not morbidly obese, gain the weight back. Also because the pancreas and the blood sugar regulation is less optimal than before because of the medication. It's just logical. So my view is obesity is there is a pandemic with obesity. It is an inflammatory disease. People who are obese, it's not their fault. We need to remove the taboo. Because if you look 100, 200 years ago, only very wealthy people could be fat. You had to sit down and literally eat all day, every day to fatten up. Nowadays, comparatively, they don't eat that much and easily people blow up. Why? Because the food has changed. We have emulsifiers, we have additives, we eat out of season. Everything has changed around us, and obesity is an inflammatory condition. Gut inflammation is linked to obesity. When people have extra adipose tissue, which is fat, they produce more inflammatory cytokines. So they're stuck in a vicious cycle of being inflamed and gaining weight. And they have more weight, so they also produce more estrogen. So they have hormonal imbalance from it and blood sugar dysregulation. But I have examples of people on the Eat, Burn, Sleep lifestyle who over a year lost 60 pounds. And who are vibrant. I can think of one. She now has a six-pack, which is kind of crazy.
I think I know which one you're talking about. The blonde lady.
The blonde lady, she has more muscles than I do. She's on it.
Amazing.
So it is completely doable. And the problem with the drug is you're not changing the gut microbiome. So it's still inflamed inside. What else are you going to see from the gut that you haven't fixed? So inflammation starts... One of the places where it starts is the gut, because 70% of immune system cells, gut-associated lymphoid tissue, are in the tummy. When the microbiome is impaired, the immune system is impaired, and we are inflamed. So one of the causes of chronic inflammation is gut dysbiosis, which is microbiome, issues, not enough diversity. So an impaired microbiome will lead to chronic inflammation, and that is linked to obesity. So I think what I find a bit frustrating is the way obese people are treated. I'm going to say it. I might be cancelled for this, but I'm going to say it. First, the, love your body kind of movement, I find very unkind. Because you're telling someone who's sick, medically sick, you're fabulous, instead of helping. And then you go, oh, but I have a solution for you. You're going to pay X amount every month. And you're going to make a big pharma very rich. I mean, look at the share prices of those companies.
Yep.
And so we're not fixing the root. We're not looking at food. We're not regulating what's around us. We're not regulating the additives. This is like smoking a bit. Smoking used to be okay, people would die, the companies would make so much money out of it, and finally regulation came and fines arrived. I think in the food world this needs to happen. What a lot of the food manufacturers do is they create highly addictive products with a mix of flavor enhancers, sugar, fat, salt, and you end up with people who are obese, who feel bad about themselves, and you tell them you're fabulous. Oh, why don't you inject so you're healthy now? The whole thing is twisted.
And how do you think that kind of to wrap up these ideas, how do you think that the future of the wellness and health industry is going, especially seeing these kind of a system and a business model that systemically needs to change? So many people valuing vitality more than ever because longevity is here and people care about living longer and having a better life while they live that long. And all of this noise around so much information that you almost don't know. One day drinking milk is good, one day it's not. One day gluten is good, one day it's not. One day, and this confusion, vegan, not vegan. What do you see coming? And what do you recommend to kind of balance that out and keep yourself sane?
So what I see coming, I think for Ozempic and Mounjaro, all of these injections, there's going to be a backlash at some point. There'll be lawsuits. There will be, I see that in 5 years. Just like 5 years ago, I used to say, I can see the vegan trend will be gone in 5 years. I think in 5 years, we're going to see some issues on that front. I think there's going to be a shift in the world because right now there's an absolute and total mispricing when it comes to how much it costs to live in places versus the impact on health. I'll give you an example. The healthiest nation in Spain, I'll give you an example. The healthiest nation in Europe with the best lowest rates of cardiovascular disease, deaths, cancer, all of that is Spain. Yet Spain, real estate-wise, is very good value. So I think there's going to be a shift where we're going to start understanding that living in these so amazing places that are making us sick might not be worth it. And just like during COVID, when people started going to sunnier places and closer to nature and calmer places, I think there's going to be a health migration happening.
Wow.
And I can see it already. I've identified places in Spain, for example, where Americans go and retire there because the healthcare is cheaper, because the food is better for you, because of all these things. So I think there's going to be a shift where people are going to factor in the environment and the impact on their health. That's going to be the first thing. The second thing that I'm hoping it's going to arrive, is legislation. For example, in Switzerland, about 97% of things that are allowed by the FDA are banned. In Switzerland,
97?
A huge number.
Nuts.
Huge number of substances are banned. And in Switzerland, I'm so sensitive to taste. Like when I try something, I know the quality. It's my job, I'm obsessed with this. I'm obsessed. I know the freshness of a tomato. I was on a trade show in Geneva for supplements, something called VitaFoods, huge trade show. And of course, like everyone, I went to the canteen and I picked an eat, burn, sleep meal. I had some chicken and spinach. I couldn't believe the taste of the chicken. It tasted cleaner than the organic chicken I buy in London. And I was like, of course. And I saw how I digested it. It is, so these things,
just can't compare.
I think people are going to start picking up on it. Go, okay, in this place, I'm healthier. You know what? Might not be as cool as living in central London, but I'm going to try and spend more time there because the older you get, the more time poor you are and the more cash rich you are generally. So you're going to start, I can see people starting to shift. Just like in the olden days where people would retire in the sunshine, I think this is going to start happening earlier where people will prioritize their health.
That's super funny that you mentioned the Spain thing because now that you were talking about this, I've always been in the Spanish expat crews outside of Spain, and especially my parents always were in the Spanish expat groups. And I remember all the time the comments between our family friends was, it's so funny, in summer we can go to Spain and eat everything we want and we don't gain weight. And we were living in the US and we were talking about how in the US you just stayed, I would eat so much when I would go to Spain. My grandmother would just stuff my face basically and I wouldn't gain 1 kilo. it was just crazy. And it's so true what you're talking about.
I experience it because I have a place in Spain.
Yeah.
And when I'm there, I can eat fried food. I don't gain weight because it's local, because there is more bacteria in it, because it's freshly made. It's just local, seasonal ingredients. My neighbor the other day brought me tomatoes from her garden that she has like a little second home outside of the city. I couldn't believe the taste of the tomatoes. Just with a little bit of sea salt, it was an explosion of flavors in my mouth. And we know that the more taste there is in fruits and vegetables, the more nutrients are in there. So when you're buying strawberries and they taste of nothing, you're buying organic strawberries at Whole Foods in London, and there's no taste, you're not getting vitamin C and you're not getting antioxidants. It'll be very poor content. Yeah, because the taste buds know. The only time where the taste buds get confused is in manufactured foods, and that's what I was referring to earlier, when they do these mixes that trick us and we end up having too much salt, too much sugar without even noticing. Because the body naturally knows. For example, if you don't eat processed foods, you can never have too much salt. If you fancy more salt, means your body needs the sodium and minerals. If you have enough in your system, you're going to feel that things are too salty. The body regulates itself. I mean, look at animals, apart from my dog.
The most pampered Dutch hound out there.
How many obese lions have you seen?
Yeah.
Okay, so the way we produce food is twisted and it has to change because now it's a public health matter.
Thank you. Thank you for this wonderful sharing of insights, of knowledge, of everything you do to really have this as a ripple effect. You saved yourself and now you're saving so many more people, some that you know very closely and others that might use your platform and you'll never see, but you know you're touching. Thank you for sharing and everything you do and for being on the podcast.
Thanks for having me, Carlos. I really enjoyed it.
For weekly updates on future trends and the latest insights and data on the luxury industry, be sure to follow us on the Beyond Luxury's weekly Substack. Discover our bespoke trend reports and come to us for luxury futures consulting at Beyond Luxury Group.